We are living in a world today where there are so many distractions. There are so many pressures and responsibilities for us today as women, as wives, as mothers, as employers, as employees. Women who have many responsibilities to care for themselves, to care for their children. We are running from one thing to the next every day. And the pressures of life, I find, can become so heavy. And we feel so burdened at times. You know, every year I spend quite a bit of time in prayer and worship to God. I want to draw close to God, and I want to really hear His voice and His heart, know His heart for the women with TWR Women of Hope. This year, as I was sitting with Jesus and spending time studying the Bible, I asked God for one word that would help us really focus next year on all of the materials that we create, all of the conferences that we develop, all of the leadership training that we hope to find in growing in our spiritual life. Just one word that would help us really filter everything that we're studying next year. You know, God was faithful, and He gave me this one word. And the word for the year 2020 is the word rest. It's one of those words where we think, how can we rest when we have so much to do? I don't have time to read the Bible. I don't have time to pray today. I don't have time to spend with family and friends and get to know them and listen to their lives. But Jesus is calling us. He's calling us to rest. And next year, I want to study what is the biblical meaning of the word rest. What is Jesus really talking about when He says, "Come to me, and you will find rest"? In the Gospel of Matthew, we see this passage where Jesus is speaking to the people who are following Him, and they're interested in what He's saying. But then Jesus says this interesting thing to them in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. He says, "Come to me, and all of you who are burdened, who are heavy laden, who are carrying all these things, and you will find rest." He says, "But take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am humble and gentle in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Next year, we want to look at this passage and we want to study each of those phrases. What does it mean to come to Jesus when we are feeling burdened? What is it that Jesus has that we are able to find rest in Him when we feel so much heaviness from the responsibilities of life? I want us to dig into the scriptures next year, and I want us to study this passage, and I want us to really know what it means to rest in Him. Because we can't say no to some of the responsibilities that we have in life, can we? We are called to be wives and mothers and teachers and employees. We have to work. We have to feed our children, feed our families, take care of our own health. So what does it mean to rest? I pray that you'll join with us next year as we study this word rest and understand this passage and how much easier our life is when we take on that yoke of Jesus. And we see that the burden that He has for us is a light burden because we give all of our cares to Him and we can find rest for our souls. So I pray that you'll join us next year and you'll be a part of this journey that we will be on to find the true rest that we can find in Jesus. God bless you.